Oh, God.
Hello.
Hello.
As Jess is dying.
Hello.
Take a drink.
Okay, what show? Okay, we're doing the Horror Rumble. When are we going live?
I think we are.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Horror Rumble. I'm your host, Jess. This is
The other guy.
Kory Ross. I want my OTG. Should we just skip the pleasantries and get on with it? I think they all know the spiel here. We're in our 11th episode. Next month, it'll be our 12th, our
Full year.
Full season.
Wow.
So, and we still need to do a giveaway on the channel.
Yes, we do.
That will happen.
I promise we have not forgotten.
Anyway, you want to go ahead and start bringing our guests in?
Sure. Let's start with this lovely lady.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Sam.
How's it going, Sam?
It's going. All right, less than 2 minutes in, Jess was already dying.
Yeah.
Digging the haircut, though. Is that a new haircut?
It is. Thank you.
Well,
fairly new.
Talking to me.
Kory, when was the last time you cut your hair?
Actually, I got a trim last weekend.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, happy haircuts to both of you.
Thank you.
Well, as a Cubs fan, I got to say, this guy's probably my favorite Cardinal fan.
That's only because the other night I called you the better looking half of cable channel 11. That's why.
That's right. That is right.
No offense, Jess.
Okay.
You're both very attractive men. So
Kory, that's too hot of a take. You're gonna have to leave now.
All right, well, I'll see y'all later.
That's all we need from him.
Thanks for having
Everybody
me.
watch S'mores Indoors. Hello.
All right, well, let's bring on your favorite author and mine, Mr. Lauren Dixon.
Who?
Very much so.
If I'm a favorite author, you haven't read a terrible lot of books, I think.
I really haven't, but the ones that I have, yours are at the top of my list. So.
Very true.
He's not discussing what the title of that list is, though. So, hey guys, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
Doing all right.
Awesome. So, will I have any friends left by the end of this episode?
I'm contractually obligated, so yes.
I mean, Kory and I just said you're our favorite author, so.
Yeah, but you haven't heard hot takes yet.
All right. That could change then.
All right, well, let's bring on Mr. Flesh Wound Features himself.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. I am going to say this Cheech and Chong remake is way too white and it should be canceled immediately.
Please make that happen. Just
you know I'm half Mexican, so
that makes you Cheech.
There you go. There you go. It's okay then. I'll allow it.
All right.
But yeah, doing fantastic. Great panel tonight. I'm excited.
It is. Thank you. Yes. Me too.
And last but certainly not least, Orc Dust himself.
Yo, what's up, faggots? I snitched on everyone and I'm still alive. What's up?
All the hot takes are fun.
We have been canceled so fast in this opening. I might as well. I mean, we'll just kick it off with the topic. Hotcakes.
Aunt Jemima's.
Let's talk about hotcakes,
That
guys.
in box.
I'm a fan.
Cakes.
I'll give you that.
Hotcakes. So,
Nice.
what's your favorite hotcakes? Are we going around the room like normal?
Hot cakes or hot takes? What are we doing right now?
I'm team waffles.
Wait a minute.
Definitely Belgian waffles.
Okay. We have
Blueberry
I did get the right subject.
pancakes. Blueberry pancakes.
You need the little pockets. You need the little pockets in the waffles to put your syrup in. And if you got blueberries, you can put a blueberry in each one.
Well,
Anybody here like French toast?
Yes.
I'm
Excellent.
feeling like the syrup is like 80% of the domestic gross product of Maine. So I think Orc contractually has to be pretty happy about this
I
topic.
only use grade A. Anything else is unacceptable.
He just goes outside and sticks a knife in a tree and just lets it pour.
Yep. Got my Jason Voorhees machete, and that's what I do. Whack it in. Yeah.
Jess, I gotta bring this up here real quick. I want to say thank you, Blu-rays.
And hello.
Obviously, you don't know what true beauty is then.
Wait a minute.
Oh, damn.
Just kidding.
I
know
thought it was
I'm
just
on the
a
wrestling screen,
compliment.
Right there in shade over there.
Just kidding.
I thought it was just a compliment for Sam. Now it's getting personal.
But did you finish reading it? It says other than Kory.
Yeah, I did, and that's what I think upset me the most.
Orcs in rare form tonight.
What's up, Chomos? Hey, Daily Ghost. Hey, you need to email us or message me on Twitter or something. We'll talk. I want to get you on the channel. And our good friend Chris, Dr. CZ Death.
That's why I married him. Bacon chocolate chip waffle all the way.
Oh, bacon.
You weren't going to bring this up, Kory? Thank you, Blu-rays.
I was going to, but my wife's dog was barking.
Right. So, Kory,
So
what is your hot cakes?
Hot cakes or hot takes?
Did I get that wrong?
Hot cakes. I like the McGriddle. I used to.
Ooh.
Then they started skimping on the syrup, but
So is it hot cakes or hot takes?
why don't we transition here? We'll go into hot takes now.
So what am I going to do with the rest of these?
Ooh, that looks
I don't know.
All
Stop
right.
it! I just had Chinese food. I'm going to be hungry here in about 5 minutes.
All right. This was the Horror Rumble in our first season, and it was great.
It's just a food rumble
Had a
now.
good run.
They all
All right.
come out the same way. Know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I've had like some weird food poisoning stomach thing this week, so they don't all come out the same way.
Oh.
So I honestly, I kind of knew, but I had to look it up. I don't know what hot takes is really. At first, I kind of just thought it was a quick opinions on whatever subject it is. And I guess it kind of is, but it's really, is it comparing or giving basically an unfavorable take on something or unpopular take?
It's an opinion that is stated bluntly that is sure to cause controversy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that being said, you want me to kick this off?
Please do.
Hereditary, worst movie I've seen in the last 5 years.
Bye.
Damn.
Didn't I get that for you? Yes.
Oh, Lord actually did it. I was bluffing.
Yeah, you got it. You got it for me for Christmas, and I watched it shortly after, and I just nothing about that movie stuck with me. Like it just. I hear you guys talk about A24 movies and stuff, and I've seen the trailer for Midsummer, and it just nothing. I watched Hereditary, and I thought it was garbage. Like
That's a movie that made me stop watching horror. That's interesting.
Is there any reason why you thought it was garbage, or it just didn't like hit with you?
it just didn't hit with me. I mean, like I've seen movies that use like satanic cults and stuff in it, and I like lower budget movies and thought they did better. So I couldn't name any of them off the top of my head right now, but just nothing about that movie stuck with me. It just I could have watched pretty much anything else besides that movie and I would have been happier. So
Yeah, fair enough. It is kind of surreal though, and you know, was it was it also a little maybe too much on the abstract side? Because I've heard that complaint. I mean, I understand it.
yeah. I will give it this. It had its moments where you kind of went ooh or whatever, but I mean like when the little girl and the telephone pole, but
Oh, so good.
and other than that, I just nothing about that movie stuck with me. I didn't like it. It wasn't my thing.
I will say that I did enjoy it. I think Midsummer was hit harder for me. Like it was, to me, a better movie. Just it was more uncomfortable and had some pretty more insane moments, I guess you could say. But I do enjoy Hereditary too, though.
Didn't get under your skin at all because, man, that's
It just I think for the most part I just found it boring. So it just I there's just a lot of things about that movie that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I didn't like it at all. I will say that as far as A24 movies or whatever, I did see the trailer for X, and that actually looked interesting. But anything else they've done just does not look interesting at all to me.
you'll like X for sure. That's certainly not the same tone as Hereditary, but yeah, I don't know, man. Hereditary for me, that actually got under my skin a little bit. Just Gabriel Byrne. I mean, Toni Collette's amazing, but Gabriel Byrne is so good in that too and doesn't get enough credit. The shot when he's in the bed and just blank stare, and you hear Toni Collette's reaction to what's in the car.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better for me, but not everybody likes that movie, so you're not alone.
Yeah. I think it works better if you think of it as generational trauma before the cult.
Yeah.
It's my 11th favorite film of all time.
That's very.
Hereditary.
Yeah.
Is it
Wow.
below or above Alien 3?
Oh, it's way above Alien 3. I love Alien 3, but Alien 3 is not on my top 25. So,
Can we see this spreadsheet of your favorite movies and their rankings? Does it change?
I will print it out right now and hold it up to the screen.
I'm curious how you, what your, not opinions, but what your expectations were going into it, Lauren, because I feel like that movie had a lot of hype about it being the scariest movie since The Exorcist. And what were you expecting before you saw it?
You see, that actually hurt it for me because I walked in with my defenses up, as I do. X was another example of a film that everyone was speaking so highly of. But again, when it's more of the slasher / home invasion body horror type of thing, I kind of compartmentalize it as like, oh, this is going to be popular. Doesn't mean I'm going to connect with it. I liked X fine. It was fine. It's not as good as it's certainly not my favorite Ty West film, and it's certainly far from my favorite A24 film, but it was fine. But in the case of Hereditary, yeah, I looked at that tagline about the scariest movie since The Exorcist, and I went, okay, bring this then. And it's so not The Exorcist. It is a complete thought into itself, and I love it. I do think that there's no question that a lot of people dislike the film. I mean, look at its Rotten Tomatoes score, the audience side of it. It does not do well with a lot of people. But I think that's because it's kind of a pure thing. We're very used to things trying to satisfy everyone, and this movie doesn't do that. It doesn't. Where's the jump scares? Where's the screeches on the soundtrack? Where's the fun? Hey, I don't like that character, so isn't it fun to watch him die? There's none of that. I think when the horror genre is taken very seriously, there's a certain part of the audience that is just not down for that. They want Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And Hereditary is like completely the opposite of that. That's not to say that there's people who don't love both. But I do think that a large portion of the audience wants a film that's going to be fun. And Hereditary is not fun. I love being miserable, so of course it's good.
I think it hit too hard for a lot of people too. Like you're saying, I know that movie bothered people. They thought they were going in for The Conjuring, and they got something that really disturbed them, which I think is a good thing.
Lauren, you said that they were saying that this movie was supposed to be or scarier than The Exorcist, or scariest movie since The Exorcist, or whatever.
I think it was like This Generation's The Exorcist, or something like that was the tagline. Something very similar to that, yeah.
Okay. Now, I heard that was part of the advertising for Jordan Peele's Us when that was coming out. They kept saying it was, scarier than The Exorcist, or the scariest movie ever. And that ruined that movie for me. Well, that and his previous movie.
I think that The Exorcist is held on such a pedestal, just deservedly. I mean, it's probably the best horror screenplay ever written, The Exorcist. So it's tough to like overplay your hand with it. But I guess a lot of films, when they want to get the attention, will just play the Exorcist card and see what happens. In the case of Hereditary, I think it's its own monster. It's not The Exorcist, but what is? But I think it's strong stuff. I'd like to think in time you should go back and give it another try, maybe be in a different mindset. Because at the very least, it might not be your thing, but I think you'll see more value in it than you see right now. But I don't mean that to be, me talking down to anyone about a film. That's fucking ridiculous. You like what you like.
You didn't throw it away, did you?
No, I still have it. I wouldn't do that even if I didn't like a movie. I'll find if I really hate a movie, I will find somebody else who will enjoy it and give it to them. But I don't ever throw a movie away.
But you will rip the slip covers, right?
I think the slip covers are gone.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. And besides Rob Zombie's Halloween films, I don't destroy movies.
Oh yes, I almost forgot. A couple of years ago, you did that on Region Free, didn't you?
I certainly
I
did.
miss that.
It might have been the Sausage Factory still at the time. I'm not.
Yeah, it
Can't
might have been
remember.
right at the end. I don't know. But I
Last
do know that
season.
those discs did completely cut me as I snapped them in half because it's not a safe behavior.
Daily Ghost turned on you, Kory. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Well, Ghost thinks that settles it. Kory is a piece of shit.
That's all right. My ex-wife
just
thinks the
listening.
same thing. So
And one Lorne back.
Has anybody been shanked by a broken DVD in a movie before?
Oh, I thought you were talking about in real life for a
I
second.
know.
Oh, I'm sure in real life. Yeah, that's probably how I will go out. But yeah.
Isn't there a Hellraiser film that does something like that?
Well, you have the
Yeah, Hellraiser 3.
CDs, but like just literally breaking it in half and just stabbing somebody. I don't know if I've seen that.
there's an episode of Chuck where
From your dot matrix printer.
Yvonne Strahovski and I forget who the Asian actress was, but they were fighting in a car and she broke off a CD and stabbed her with it.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
He had to tear those edges off first, Sam, before he put
That
it
was
on.
so satisfying to do as a kid. It's like throwing a Craig to me.
That's awesome that hazing's on there. I know that video you did is gone, but that is awesome that the hazing's on there.
I love the hazing. If you guys haven't seen the hazing, like find the hazing and watch it. It is one of the most fun things you'll ever watch in the genre, and no one knows the film at all.
It's a safe bet too. Like I think everybody will like that one.
It was in every blockbuster on planet Earth, so it's not obscure at all, but like no one rented it because it had this horribly cheesy cover of a girl like in lingerie holding a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Which is not what the movie is at all. But it's kind of wonderful that is the cover.
It's a fun movie. Tiffany Shepis, Brad Dourif, you guys should all check it out.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
Jess.
the cinematography, though, Billy. Just kidding.
I think I've sufficiently kicked this thing off.
Well, like I said, I didn't really know the hot takes, but I do have a quick list. I'm just going to plow through them, and if it triggers anybody, speak up afterwards. I'm one of the few I thought too many thoughts. The Lodge was a weaker movie than You Should Have Left with Kevin Bacon. Boom, hot takes. Freddy vs. Jason is better than several other movies.
Do I stop you now, or do I wait till you finish them all?
I mean, if you want to go on that, we can talk that.
Jess, that Kevin Bacon movie was a piece of shit, dude.
I know you all thought you said you hated it, and I thought it was more entertaining and less dragging than The Lodge. Now, don't get me wrong, I did actually enjoy The Lodge, but I did like the Kevin Bacon movie better. Hot takes, boom.
How? Elaborate.
That's what I got. I just enjoyed it. I had more fun with You Should Have Left.
You've seen Stir of Echoes, right?
I'm not even comparing that. That movie kicks both of those movies, but
that's the same director, so I would say watch Stir of Echoes again. But
Stir of Echoes is great.
Yeah, I don't
awesome.
know. He shit the bed Amber Heard style on that movie, though, dude.
Oh,
like that might have been one of the worst that I saw last year. I guess it came out. At least, definitely in the top 10 worst movies I saw last year. So
disagree. Well, I'm doing my job right then.
That's fine. You said to stop you, so I had to.
No, please do. I mean, if anybody else, then we can.
It'd be funny if it was each one.
It might. I don't know. I didn't think I'd trigger you that bad. I thought you'd be like, "Oh, that's just Jess."
To each their own.
Freddy vs. Jason is better than several other movies in each of their respected series.
I agree with that.
Fair.
I mean, not a lot more, but
not a lot more. Just at least
sure.
a couple.
Statistically, it's correct.
Okay,
it's fun. It's a fun movie.
More agreed with me on that than I thought.
I think that Freddy vs. Jason is fine. It's fun. It delivers what it promises, and it's dumb up to that point, as it should be. Whatever. I don't know what people wanted from that, because I got way more than I expected to.
I could have used Monica Keena topless, but I'll take what I can get.
Nice, Chris. And yes, we'll give you a hot take there, Ghost. I'll run through these. See if this triggers you. Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is just as good as parts 1 and 2. Hot takes, boom.
Eye in a fire.
Not a chance. Not a chance. It's.
You can see Dan being triggered.
I mean, better than the original.
I didn't say better. I said as good as in its own way. They're all three different movies.
That's.
But you can say that about any three movies, though, right? They're all different movies. Well, yes, of course.
But they're Texas Chainsaw 1, 2, and 3. And I think they're all three equally fun in their own way.
Texas Chainsaw 3 tried to make the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise into a
I know, and a slasher franchise. And as a 9-10-year-old, I love that about it. It was my favorite Texas Chainsaw for years until I matured.
Yeah, but at 9 and 10, you were still considering eating the school glue too. I mean, it's
have you tried it?
I'm not saying I don't occasionally partake in it as an adult, but I'm saying I understand it's not good for you.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe if I sniff the glue, I'll enjoy it more. But
Well,
it's
you
better
enjoy
than
everything more
4.
when
If you
sniff the
said
glue.
3's better than 4,
Oh, well,
I
definitely.
could live
Yeah,
with
there's no
that,
argument in that, but that's not a hot take. Boom.
But I will say this: at least 4 was trying to do something; it just couldn't pull it the fuck off. Third film just wants to be a generic horror movie. So fuck
I still
that.
do enjoy
Texas
4 a
Chainsaw
lot
Massacre should
more
not be
than.
just a generic cut and paste.
Agreed. I still love it. And Alien versus Predator is better than Alien Resurrection, and honestly, to me, anything after Alien Resurrection in either series.
No,
Not Requiem.
No. Alien Resurrection is one I stand. I don't dislike Alien versus Predator, but Alien Resurrection is still really fucking fun, even if it is kind of just that sore thumb that sticks out, and everybody's like, I still enjoy it, but I don't know. Alien versus Predator is like, it's really doesn't have enough going on in it. Like, it's not as wacky as I would prefer.
Okay.
I think I love the weirdness of Resurrection. I mean, having a French director, I just love the odd vibe that movie has, and it stands out from the others. It's not the best Alien movie by far, but it is. I think it feels like its own thing, and I always liked Resurrection. So I like all 4, the first 4.
I'm not going to be drawn into a conversation about the Alien franchise on a hot take show.
Yeah, I know.
You've been there down that road, right? I think.
Few times, babe.
Hot takes, boom. And real maple syrup is much better than corn syrup on hotcakes. The regular Aunt Jemima.
Not a hot take.
But here's the thing: the IHOP has that. They have the blueberry.
The syrup.
That's
is
so
pretty good. That's
It's
pretty
the
darn
best
good. You're right.
choice, so-
That is choice in that.
Doesn't help Orc State, but it's pretty great.
Could
You know
they
the
make
thing
a
about-
blueberry flavored real maple syrup? A real blueberry maple.
But
Would that
you
be
can
good?
make a bitchin' vinaigrette with like blueberries and then some maple syrup, and it's wild.
You know
That
the
sounds-
benefit though of using the fake pancake syrup over the real maple syrup is that you don't feel as much guilt when you use a whole bottle on your stack of pancakes as you would a whole bottle of maple syrup.
And it just crystallizes. It never really goes bad.
That's true.
Ah, yes. Hello, Jamie. Well, hot cakes, boom. That's what I got for you.
If you would have answered that the other way, I would have had to done something very terrible to you, Jess.
Oh, I
You
love
guys
real
know how
maple
to
syrup.
do. There should be enough of us to do a shield bomb through a table on Jess at some point.
I feel like I've done my job. I didn't
We
even
can
really
make
think
that
I was bringing
happen.
anything here, but I think I've done my job, especially with Dan.
And I was just kidding. That was a joke. We're on the internet.
He just called our local sports team a bunch of pussies. He's going full heel tonight.
Yes.
People's elbow.
I don't know what that was.
I think it was a wrestling thing, Lauren.
I'm
That
sorry.
you probably saw. At
If
some
you
point.
smell what Lauren is cooking.
I love it when he furrows his brow and then his head just kind of looks like an ass. It's just that one crease.
Do you think we'll get Lauren back for season 2 after the show? Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Yes. Chicken on waffles.
See, I made the mistake. This is hot takes, I guess, and not hot cakes, guys. Sorry.
Next time, if you do hot takes, we should bring hot cakes, though.
The whole chat's on food right now.
This is my kind of chat. Here we go, boys.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. That's what I brought to the table tonight. I'm here just to watch the fun. Now, if you tick me off, I'll let you know.
Sam, you got anything for us?
Oh, it's a show about hot takes, and you brought me on, and I don't know. I don't have anything to talk about. No, just kidding. My hot takes are more about the horror community. So, as I do, because I haven't watched any. I've seen like one movie this week, and like I can't really slam it. It was We're All Going to the World's Fair. It was actually kind of fun. Just it just rips off the Marble Hornets, Slender Man ARG like just completely, but it's fine. I don't dislike the movie. Hot take wise, okay, so who knows what happened with the Stabby Time TV Awards?
Ooh.
In case you missed it, folks. So I don't even know if those awards are happening anymore because I can't find the link with the voting on it.
They're not.
Like it got taken down. So they put up a meme of comparing Jada Pinkett Smith to Pinhead with, because the outfits were similar and bald. Okay. And horror Twitter lost their fucking minds. And you've got people that are calling this isn't inclusive. And I'm like thinking, bitch, shut the fuck up. Horror Twitter is not inclusive. You disagree with them, they will just fucking ban your ass. And then they're all like, no gatekeeping, we're inclusive. And shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. You're stupid. Look, I know we're all hypocrites in our own lives, but it's just to the point where it's exhausting. You people are just wearing me down. But the backlash against Stabby Time was just ridiculous. And it's like fucking Barbara Crampton out here and people wanting Stabby Time to delete their account because of a meme. Meanwhile, these people are part of the fandom of horror where they talk about the artistic merits of rape revenge as a subgenre, which I agree. I mean, you can have those debates. That's cool. But then they lose their shit over a bald meme. And then you had all of the podcasts pull out. And or at least I think most of them did. The ones that were nominated, and I guess that's why we're not having an awards. And to all of those podcasts that did, in case they're watching, you're pussies! God damn, you guys. What a bunch of fucking fragile little snowflakes. Dude. So, thoughts? Am I overblowing this?
I don't think so.
That was a great rant.
They can't reply to you with Barbara Crampton's dick in their mouths, so
Oh.
It's like they just want a safe space where they can watch a 3-year-old be chainsawed in half.
So, I mean, it's not really that hot of a take, I guess. I just think, maybe it's like somebody's got to say it. Yeah, y'all are pussies. I mean, go ahead, pull out, but it's like, just stop.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ben. I do have one more that might be a little bit more controversial. So
more controversial
Than that.
Oh yeah.
You just put the entire horror community on blast, but this is going to be more controversial. I'm curious.
After Jess, it's going to have to be about the Holocaust or something like really fucked up.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Absolutely not. Not going to be doing any of that.
Okay.
You're Jewish, not thinking that.
Shalom.
But we don't need Women in Horror Month. Do you know do you know when Women in Horror Month was this year? Does anybody?
Yeah. There you go, Lauren. The good answer. It's
practically. Traditionally it's February, but this year I noticed went through February all the way through March, and it felt really interminable. And I don't know why we have this, because it's not like we don't have women in horror. It's not like we haven't had women in horror. It's not like horror is a genre where a huge staple of it, a cornerstone, is the concept of a final girl. We rarely have final boys. And who are the women that are feeling left out of the horror genre because they don't see themselves represented? And I'm not saying this to shit on representation in media, because as a wrestling fan, growing up, I loved watching the women's wrestling matches because, hey, I was a little girl. I wanted to be that tough girl too, right? I'm not saying that, but who's honestly feeling left out of horror because as a woman because they're not seeing other women? They're all over the place. We don't need this month. We're good. Thank you, Jamie.
At least one of the months they got was the shortest month, I guess.
Well, you know, we try not to take up too much space as women.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do for Women in Horror Month that I'm not doing every other month. You know,
Yeah, right?
it's a lot of women in horror movies if they haven't been paying attention, and a lot of strong female characters that, you know, I don't think that genre is I think our genre hasn't had that same issues as other genres, quite frankly.
For me, and it's anybody and everybody's month for horror, whoever wants it.
Yeah.
So, you know what's funny? And Sam, I'm not going to repeat the conversation we privately had earlier about a very similar topic.
Shut your cunt mouth, Laura.
But don't worry, you're not stepping on my toes. I'm going to piss people off far worse than anyone else here. But you know, it's funny. It's like we're all about inclusion and diversity, except we're not. So let's stop pretending.
Yeah.
I mean, we would say, "Oh, women don't get enough representation." Well, I mean, in the world I come from, I'm constantly making the argument that that's not historically true. It's just the last 25 years because of Stephen King, it seems true. Because he takes up all the oxygen in the room from everyone, no matter gender or background or religion or creed, doesn't matter. But you know what's funny is that when I mention like a new Indian horror film, there's an audible sigh from the audience, right? Oh, here he goes again. I don't want to watch that. It's not in English. And I'm fine with that. You know, it's cool. I get it. But like, we're only about diversity and inclusion when we're comfortable with the type of diversity and inclusion that we're discussing at this moment. And usually when it benefits us, or it's when we look in the mirror, what we see looking back at us, which is the exact opposite of the point of inclusion and diversity. So my thing is, let's stop being like people who want to scream at the sky about things until we're like serious about it. If you're serious and you're willing to say, hey, I'm really excited about that Malaysian horror film that's coming out. I understand culturally it's going to be a difficult climb to get to understand all the references, but you know, it looks really good. Let's scream it out. When's the last time? I mean, Dan will point out Sputnik, but when's the last time anyone's been excited about a Russian horror film in America? What? The Day Watch and Night Watch? 15
because
years
they
ago?
were in theaters, yeah. And they saw the commercial on TV.
Right. So, I mean, I just feel like unless you're willing to be honestly, truly diverse and inclusive, shut the fuck up. If you look at my bookshelves, you will see that I walk the walk on this subject. And it just pisses me off when people are just about their team, but are claiming to be diverse. That's tribalism, and that's actually the problem. Don't try and fix the problem by being a part of the problem.
You got my topic, Lauren, more or less.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I was gonna say, since it kind of leads into it, you want to take it?
Yeah, well, specific incident though. If you've watched Fleshman Features, you know I was really excited for that Finnish horror movie, Hatching, and I liked it a lot. But I was recommending it to some friends, not on the show, but other friends, and they're like, "Oh, it's from Finland," and it was that same kind of reaction, like they didn't want to try it. And I was like, "Have you ever seen a Finnish horror movie before?" No. Then how do you know? Like, you know, but it was like
exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen a lot of Finnish horror movies because there's not a lot of them. That's not a particular country that puts out a lot of genre material. But they watched it earlier today, actually, and they loved it. So it was the same thing. I was like, why try something different? It's not always going to hit. Indian horror isn't it for everybody. Malaysian horror isn't for everybody. Russian horror isn't for everybody. But there's so much good stuff out there now. I mean, it's crazy how many in my top 10, top 20 are foreign horror films now. I think it might have been the majority last year. I'd have to go back and check. But I don't quite get the resistance to it. Even dubbed films, same thing. It's just like, I don't know. It's from Turkey. I'm not going to check that out. And same thing going further back, Baskin. A lot of people loved that movie. They tried it. They just thought, I don't know about a Turkish horror movie. I don't know. Sometimes in the genre, people don't broaden their horizons, and it is frustrating. That's not to say everything that comes out from these countries is good. There's crap that comes out of India, just like there's crap that comes out of the US. But I mean, that's one of the big things for me in doing podcasting, is helping somebody discover this little film over here that nobody's paying attention to that is fantastic. Not a horror film per se, but I think like Lady Terminator is one that I did that for Piz a while back. And, there's just so much awesome stuff going on overseas that nobody is getting a chance to experience. And yeah, I again, kind of same thing also. And I don't know if I'm stealing one from Lauren later, but people that won't check out small press horror authors. There's like a weird thing, and I've heard it on I can't remember the podcast now, but a couple weeks ago somebody was talking about stigmas in small press horror authors, and I'm like, all the good stuff is small press, or 99% of it. So I don't know where these attitudes come from, and it is kind of frustrating. So I challenge everybody to check out something that you wouldn't normally check out this week. Give it a shot. Check out some reviews. Try and find the best of the best. I'd say Hatching is actually pretty damn good. You Won't Be Alone. That's a little more on the arty side, but that's another recent one that I liked a lot. Give it a shot. And you never know. You might have a new favorite movie, because my friend really loves Hatching. So, yeah, more of a rant, I guess.
Well, adding to that, and this is something with Lauren too. He introduced me to the movie, the Psycho from India, and I enjoyed that. What is it, 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's an incredible film, and again, there's nothing not commercially acceptable in that film. It's just not in English.
Yeah.
And that's not
Good
a good
way to
reason
put it.
for it.
I'm normally not one to want to watch foreign movies, but whether they speak English or not doesn't really have any effect on me. A lot of times it's just the accent that throws me off and makes me not want to watch it. There are a few exceptions. Deathgasm, which I think is Australian or New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah. Good movie.
Which I actually has a scene that I wrote for Jess in a movie, in that movie. But is it? I guess my question is it so much the? Yeah, it was there a minute ago.
The cultural differences, maybe.
Is it so much that, or I mean, like, people don't watch silent movies anymore, and a large part of that is because they have to read the subtitles, or they have to read the
intercards.
Yeah. So, is that part of the problem too, or just?
Well, we read subtitles all the time because nobody can watch streaming without subtitles. So
I don't watch subtitles.
Okay.
That's just me. That's just me, though. I figure if I can't
don't
hear
on
it,
streaming.
I'm not meant to hear it. So,
So here's where my own hypocrisy comes in, and you just hit it dead on. Like, silent films are one of those areas that I do have more trouble with staying captivated with. There's exceptions, certainly, Nosferatu or the original Hunchback of Notre Dame. But in general, I do have trouble because I am used to at least some audio stimulation as well. And as a guy who music and sound is very important to me, it's the experience that I accept from film. So yes, I will fully cop to the idea that it's tough for me to get into a lot of older silent films, as opposed to new silent films. I suppose that is the freaking worst thing I've listened to. But that said, let me tie two things together though. There's a great silent Finnish horror film called White Reindeer that everyone should check out because it's amazing.
White
So
Deer? Yeah.
I'm not against it. It's just I do have those. I do have limitations as well. But that said, I think besides Dan perhaps here, and perhaps the kids who went to film school, I've seen probably more silent films than most people have. It's just I can't get as much into it. But at least I'm will. If someone comes to me and says, "Hey, they just found this newly found film from 1919, give it a shot," I'm probably still going to be willing to do it. I'm just going to walk in thinking this ain't going to make my list of top 25.
Yeah.
And there is no silent film on my top 25, so I guess that plays out.
What? Okay, the White Reindeer from 1952.
That was
it's in the 50s. I thought it was just White Deer, but maybe
movie.
I got.
Is that what it was, Lauren? The White Reindeer.
White Reindeer is the title of it, but I'm wondering. 52 sounds way late because it is silent.
I don't know. It came up as for Finland, but it sounds wild, and it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's definitely a Finnish folk horror story. So I mean, it might have been made more than once. There's a great. I think Interceptor put it out on DVD. I don't think there is a proper Blu-ray of it yet.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on streaming, so I was curious. But it's like a shaman turns a newlywed woman into a vampiric white reindeer after she seeks his help.
That is correct.
It's good, and yeah, because there's really nothing else from that time period. But yeah, it is 1950s unless we're thinking about something else. But I'm trying to see if they did tell that story. Because they very well may have. Interesting. Well, anyways, not to debate an obscure movie.
I got Go's hot take. The Shining is only loved because the score and the cinematography are so good. No, I like the story. I know some think it drags as a movie and it's overrated, but I really do like The Shining a lot, and I don't think it's boring.
I don't like The Shining, but that's because I have a thing about cold weather movies. So,
Well, we're not going to bring up the thing then.
I was going to ask.
Yeah,
I
I'm
need to know more information, Kory.
I actually watched the thing for the first time a couple of months ago, and while I don't think it's as great as everybody says it is, it's not a bad movie at all. I think it's really good. Cold weather movies for whatever reason. Maybe it's just I can't even say it's because where I live, because Jess and I live in the same town, but just for whatever reason, just cold weather movies. I try and stay as far away from them as possible. I can't even watch the opening to episode 6 of Star Wars because it takes place on a cold weather planet. So it's just one of those things. One of my little quirks. I don't like cold weather movies.
Do you like cold weather?
No, I hate cold weather.
Okay, I hate cold weather as well, so I get that for sure.
Another hot take in the chat from Griffin. Strangers was a bad slasher film that contains 2 of the dumbest film characters ever written. Also, the ending is pretentious, art house garbage. Anybody?
I haven't seen Stranger, so can't weigh in.
The unrated cut or the director's cut is a better ending. I like the film. Them is better. Ills, whatever the fuck it's called. But yeah.
Hills is better. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's not a question.
No. I mean, they're
Yeah, if
arguably
it's
bad
Right. That's
More-
right.
made.
Halloween,
I
that's
agree with that.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're all a lot of fun. In the
No.
original series, at least. In the
50-50.
original series.
No.
No. Resurrection.
Resurrection
Okay.
films,
Yeah.
both of those new pieces of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'll go back and I don't like Curse of Michael Myers. I'm not a huge fan of 4. So
That's just fine with a few beers, honestly.
Speaking
Ah!
of a fan of
Yeah,
4,
Jake.
What's up?
Hey, Jake.
Just to try and
miss?
catch you up. I don't like Hereditary. Jess thinks that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is as good as the first two. Lauren went off on the horror community. Dan and Lauren kind of shared a topic on basically people's hypocrisy in foreign movies. And I think that's about, I don't like cold weather movies. I think that's pretty much where we're at right now. So,
and a bunch of shit about hotcakes.
yes.
Hotcakes, huh?
Hotcakes, yes. And Dan, this is not sci-fi or fantasy. This is horror. But you were
That's why
wrong. And
can't
I like them both. But you were wrong.
Dan, don't even.
Most Star Trek
lot
crap
of
too, though. So
Which Star Trek?
Star Trek has its crap.
You already left. Good job,
No.
Dan.
We've got Stacey Abrams as the president of the Federation now, so they're getting a little strange. But I would argue that most of Star Wars is crap. The prequels are crap. They've got 3 good movies and a bunch of mediocre TV.
Remove button from this guy.
Yeah.
Darkness Falls is something I haven't seen in. I have not seen that movie since I was in high school, and the only thing that I can remember about it is the part like close to the. It's in the 3rd act, and somebody drives a red truck through I don't know what, and then somebody else is like, "It's Matt," and then at like when I had a friend in high school named Matt who drove a red pickup truck, so that's the only thing that stuck with me out of that movie.
the opening 6 minutes of Darkness Falls are some of the greatest horror filmmaking of all time. The rest of the movie doesn't hold a candle to it, but that opening with just the kid in the bed and the sounds, it's fucking cat people. It's that good.
I'm due a rewatch. It's been so
I know.
long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
for me
Wait,
too.
Darkness Falls. That's the one with the tooth fairy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I keep getting that one and Dead Silence mixed up.
I always
It's
confuse
not
Darkness
bad.
Falls
It's
with
not
Boogeyman.
great though.
It's just it can't hold up to the beginning of the film. So, but whatever.
No.
That's true.
Deep
Billy, that's
Space
true.
Nine is better than anything Star Wars ever did. So
That's not true. But
DS9's pretty strong though.
But
I
Dan,
like Deep
watch-
Space
wait,
Nine.
wait. Watch this though. But Dan, Star Crash is better than either.
Ooh, I don't even think I can go there with Deep Space Nine is a childhood favorite, but Star Crash is way better than Star Wars. I will.
Carolyn
add that.
Monroe in Star
Yes.
Crash is not the best thing that's ever been on film.
Joe Spinell. Yeah, well, yeah, that actually might have sold me.
Okay.
Carolyn Monroe, probably yes.
No Solo.
Lauren, can you just go make it so?
No.
Hey, Sean.
Make it so.
Solo, that actor
Sean
was
McManus.
oh shit. They had to reshoot the entire movie.
If that was a bald joke, Sam, this whole stream is going to get shut down, and we won't have the awards. Okay.
I'm gonna tell Barbara Crampton on you, Sam. You don't want that kind of heat.
Did you see it?
She's old. I can take her. I'm afraid if I cunt punch her, it's just going to be a bunch of like dust that goes right in my face. Like it's going to be like Mr. Fuji.
Oh, That's a good finish. That should have been the Charlotte Ronda finish at Mania. That would have been awesome.
I know,
Never
right?
seen it before.
Bam.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
I'd be fine with that.
So there you go. Sci-fi
Oh,
bonus,
yeah.
Rand.
To kind of bring it back into the whole horror thing, I prefer V over Star Trek or Star Wars. So,
Brother, I agree. Even bad V is awesome V.
Do you like
well, the
the
only thing I
remake?
really
too?
need is Robert Englund playing Willie, and I'm good. So,
Jane Badler.
No,
I
V's
mean-
very good.
I know you're not supposed to like space Nazi reptiles, but
Were you guys fans of the reboot?
no,
I haven't watched it.
that does not exist. Did not happen.
Oh, then apparently I'm not going to be able to watch it if it doesn't exist.
It is
So,
for the best.
Doesn't end, so it's probably not worth the journey, anyways.
It was a season and a half, right? Then they cut it off.
It had two, but yeah, it might have been one of those cases where the remaining episodes just were on the Blu-ray, if I remember right. I could be wrong on that.
I know it's on I think it's on Tubi,
Yeah.
the entire season or whatever. So, or whatever episodes they did. But
If you're curious, do it on Tubi. Don't buy it.
Kory, can I ask a serious question? How did
Sure.
they not understand that Ham Tyler should have been the whole regular weekly television show? Just let Michael Ironside hunting down aliens. That's the show we wanted. He could have been like a Jewish Nazi hunter, right?
Yeah.
That's the show.
I think we lost Jess for a second.
A second.
He's there. He is.
Wow.
Um,
Kleenex, sir.
You're not dying again, are you?
Kory from S'mores and Doors, do you have any hot takes?
Yeah, I guess I got a couple. I guess I got like three. I'll mention a couple I've mentioned plenty of times, and kind of like the other Kory, like he is with Hereditary. The biggest piece of shit I've seen in the past 10 years, and movie that pissed me off the most was A Quiet Place. Just shit characters all around, and stupid decisions made by him. So
Yes.
but I know a lot of people love that movie for some reason. I just don't understand. But
I think Bird Box was better than Quiet Place.
Hot
takes, boom.
No. I mean, I'd rather watch A Quiet Place than Bird Box. The problem I have with Bird Box is the It Follows thing. It's like, here are your rules. Fuck the rules. It's Calvin Ball. That's what Bird Box is.
Quiet Place is a frustrating watch for me because there's things I do like about it, like the idea of it's a movie about a family that doesn't communicate. And spoilers for a film that everyone's seen, but the ultimate climax of the film is the father sacrificing himself by actually calling out to his kids, finally communicating with his kids. So I mean, I think that thematically there's a movie to be made there. But then they do stupid shit like that nail hanging out of the fucking stairs, which just would never exist in any world except to have an effect. And a woman giving birth in a bathtub while aliens who are surrounding her and she can't make sound is fucking stupid. It just on any logical plot level, it does none of that shit works.
jeez, some dog likes it though.
But I do think the material screamed out for a better movie because there's some ideas that are just really good in it, and it's like wasted. Now the second movie's even worse, by the way.
Yeah, and I just feel like John Krasinski gets labeled like this great horror director from those two, and I just don't see it. But
He's just Jim from The Office. That's all he's ever going to be.
right.
Hey, Chris, the difference between Jesus and Jess is you.
Well
Kory.
played. Can we get Jess shows you the way to the highway? That'd be rocking.
Oh yeah, everyone needs to see Jesus shows you the way to the highway.
Andy Dick is Judas Iscariot. Boom.
Come take a closer walk with me.
Yeah, my next one. I know Lauren disagrees. I've had this discussion before, but I still say at least the second half. Juice is a horror movie.
I haven't watched that in years, so I can't.
Wait.
It's interesting. I'm trying to remember.
Juice.
Is that the
No,
OJ story?
no, not that one.
Oh,
He's
Well,
leaning
that was
into the
horror story too.
You're talking like the early '90s Juice?
Mhm.
Yeah, with Tupac.
Yeah. No, that is not a horror. What?
Jess, you don't think Field of Dreams is horror adjacent, so
No, I do not think that
it's,
either.
it's got ghosts in it.
Oh, for the love of corn.
No one loves Korn. They were a shitty band.
I agree.
I
Corn
like
with a
corn.
C. Jake.
Proven. Point proven.
I want to see a Sinister Babe Ruth now, though. That'd be kind of cool.
John Goodman could use another movie role.
Yeah.
Take it.
He's got to make up for the Babe anyway.
My last thing is maybe like a generational thing, but I feel like back in the day, horror was more fun to watch on VHS. So
Kind of agree.
I can agree with almost every.
although I buy
Every
a bunch of
format.
shit nowadays, it's
I-
I had more fun watching it then.
I agree, but I wonder if the format even is part of that issue. I think it just is like that was the first time we had ability to just go and rent the movie we wanted to see at home. So of course we became kind of like in love with the whole experience, right? And we can't kind of separate it down. If DVD had come out at the same time during the same period, I think we would be just as strongly attached to DVD. Simply
Yeah,
because that access that we never had before the VHS era.
that's why I think maybe it was more. It's more a generational thing, not a hot take. It's if a kid grew up on DVD, I'm sure they feel the same way about that. So, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are getting some of that nostalgia anyway for DVDs, like the early days when it's like you wouldn't steal a car.
yeah.
That whole- yeah. And then, sometimes it's like you still see the memes about DVD menus and like just being on loop, and it's like, oh, I kind of missed that because now everything's just streaming.
Mm.
Well, that's the thing. Like, access to everything at all times is beautiful. It's wonderful. We can all pretend that we want the good old days back, but we don't. What we want is the excitement of the good old days back. And that's the difference. Like, we don't want to go back to pan and scan copies of all of our favorite films where half the fucking screen was missing. We don't. But we want that excitement of what being, hey, I rented the new whatever movie. And it's forbidden fruit because remember, television, a lot of us didn't have cable in our houses. And even if you did, you have to wait for cable to show a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you either can cut things or you had to wait for the middle of the night to see the good shit. VHS put it in your hand, man. That's intoxicating to genre fans like us who are not like salivating at the idea of the next major league sequel. We were after a little bit more obscure things.
Mm.
I think that's the argument I've always made too. Is that I never went to the video store and left with nothing. I always will go on a streaming service and just back out of it and watch something else or do something else.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I'm always salivating for the next Major League sequel. So
After 3, I couldn't go back. But you're right, Lauren, and I mean, and you too, Kory. We back out of streaming when we're streaming movies because we can turn around and flip another one on. If you rented a VHS, it was very rare you were going to shut it down, even if that sucker was god awful and you were praying for it to end quickly.
yeah, you wanted to get your money's worth.
Exactly, and you were dedicated to that movie.
Yeah, I mean, those were the days we didn't know who Fred Olin Ray was, so there was a good chance we were leaving the video store with something with a great cover,
Yeah,
but not such a fun movie.
yeah, exactly.
It was usually fun with Olin Ray. Not always good, but fun. I'll say that.
The major titles like Biohazard, I'll agree with you, but some of the minor ones, I don't know, man.
I love his. It's hilarious just to read his IMDb. You'll have like bikini dinosaur hoedown, and then you'll have like Invisible Mom 3. Then you'll have an Ice-T action movie, and it's all over the place, and it's hilarious.
I don't know if I missed your hot takes in the crowd. Any chat, let me know. Yeah, I didn't really care for It Follows.
I noticed more people shitting on that movie nowadays. It's interesting.
Just really falls apart at the end for me, and I'm like,
Well, there might be a good example. I'm not sure if I even finished that one. It Follows.
So I don't think it's a good film. I think it's a high concept thing that goes nowhere. Navel gazing way too much, breaks its own rules. And I'm sorry, the sub Carpenter synth score that's supposed to make us feel all warm and fuzzy about it just annoyed the shit out of me. Not a fan.
There are a lot of people like give me the synth score and they forgive everything.
Oh, yeah, well, the whole Halloween series kind of leans into that.
Yeah.
And I like Ghost. Sean.
I have to because my wife will kill me if I don't. So
Both you like
I mean-
ceramics.
my wife's a huge Patrick Swayze fan. So
Well, he did have the time of his life.
oh.
yeah,
My mom has been watching Roadhouse on repeat. Like, she watched it
Nice.
18 times this week.
If you're gonna watch a Swayze film, that's probably the one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're,
yeah.
you're not a fan
probably.
of Tu Wong Fu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's Tu Wong Fu.
I
That's
almost forgot about that one. That's a good one too.
Give her Black Dog, the
That's
supernatural trucker movie. Or Steel Dawn. I don't know if you want to break that up a little bit.
I actually just found that on Tubi. Was it last week?
Yep.
Took my nap to it. So
Black Dog or
Steel Dawn.
Steel Dawn? Oh, okay.
Yeah, him with a sword and was that supposed to be like Mad Max ripoff?
Yeah, it was one of the cash-ins. That Black Dog is one of those like it could only be greenlit in the '90s kind of movies.
Yeah, there's no way you were taking a nap to Black Dog with the acting talents of Randy Travis.
And Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been very adamant that I'm a huge '80s rock fan, but growing up, my entire family was almost my entire family were musicians, and they all did country music. So I was forced to listen to country music when I was little. Randy Travis is one of the few that I actually like. So.
What about his acting, though?
I don't watch his acting. So, where are we at, Jess?
You're asking me, man.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Kory, Mr. Orc.
Are we down to orc dust already?
We're down to the Orc Dust, I think.
I was skipped, but I wanted to go last anyway.
Okay.
It's gonna make everybody just lose their
Oh, yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
All right, hot take, wake and bake for Jess. Trauma sucks ass. Terrible.
Not all of it, but there's
No,
a
it's
lot that
fucking
sucks
all
ass.
shit. Every bit of it.
Whoa.
Fuck Lloyd Kaufman, he's trash too.
Well, I could agree with most of that. There has
Not a-
been some entertaining things to me that's come out of Trauma. It's few, but it's there.
Not a Toxic Avenger fan, orc?
Nope. Toxic and suck my. Never mind.
I
Don't
love
get the joke.
Poultrygeist. I love
Poultrygeist is awesome.
it. Is one
There
of
you go.
yeah. It's the exception that proves the rule that artwork is talking about, though.
Dog shit.
One of the best musicals ever. in my
It
opinion.
is. It can and also like one of the most disturbing like bathroom scenes of all time.
Oh yeah, Sam. If you haven't seen Poultrygeist, I see you typing immediately. But Orc, all right, I'm wearing the shirt
You
tonight.
you
Probably
on me? What the fuck?
the
Oh, it's
best.
me on
You didn't
you.
even like blood sucking freaks, Orc. Come on.
They bought that. They didn't make it.
Well, yeah, but it's on their label. I mean, I'm just saying, you have to like blood sucking freaks.
No, you don't.
You know what?
After you've seen a few trauma films, you don't need to see like all of them because they all fucking suck. So it's all
Well,
the same
nah,
shit
but you know what?
anyway.
Stephanie in the incinerator is pretty great too.
Yeah, I'm not defending Trauma as a whole. There's a lot of shit, but there's some gems too if you dig.
Classic.
All right, it's
Nukem
complete
High.
dog shit. Next hot take. All right, Freddy talks too much and is cringe as fuck in most of the films.
Agree with that.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm still gonna enjoy my Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but I can't really disagree too much with it. He talks too much. He's just
You're
like
stressing me out.
Oh,
Freddy can never talk too much. It would be nicer though if they like kept him hidden more.
Yeah. I mean, I just like three was like okay, it's a little chatty Cathy, but we can still do this. And it's still scary, but then yeah, four was way too much. And I love 4.
Yep. I kind of get it's yeah. If you want to see more arguing about the Nightmare on Elm Street films, check out our last episode of Horror Rumble.
I know Orc's just over here like throwing fuel on the fire and just sitting back and sipping his drink and enjoying.
He is,
chaos.
and watching it burn.
I
Pretty sure that's
know.
what the show is supposed to be.
I'm like the bad guy from like Inspector Gadget. whatever
Dr.
his name
Claw?
is.
Dr. Claw.
Yeah.
I'll get you next time.
So that show should have been called Penny.
Yeah.
Do Inspector Gadget. Do.
Damn it, Orc! I'm gonna be walking around my house tomorrow, fucking doing that song now.
So has anyone else noticed that theme song is just Hall of the Mountain King?
Is what? I'm sorry.
This is Hall of the Mountain King.
Mm.
Listen to them side by side. You tell me.
Or you could do that with some of the Sonic the Hedgehog tracks and a couple of Michael Jackson tracks.
I'm gonna have to.
And those are all my hot cakes.
Chris
All your
must
hot
have
cakes?
recognized it.
That was such an obscure reference. My husband got it, so yes. Well played.
Well, we're gonna save Lauren for last. So Jake, what have you?
I
brought
hope
to the-
Jake's been drinking, by the way. That's
Yes, this is.
I'm sober at night.
damn it.
I know. It'd be a good one. Hot takes. The Shining's overrated and sucks ass.
That would have started. We've cooled down because somebody did throw that at us, and we had a.
This is boring, and I don't know. Doctor Sleep's better.
Oh my God, no!
Oh yes, but
Now you've done it.
no,
That movie was just trash.
no.
It
No,
was
The
an
Shining
insult.
is trash.
The best part about Doctor Sleep was going back to the Shining shit, and even that couldn't live up to it.
I know that's where the but loses me. Doctor Sleep's problem is the source material. They make some really bad decisions, but they're all in the source novel.
It's true.
But I think Flanagan's direction is pretty goddamn strong in it. Who wants to do that? Who wants to make a sequel to a fucking Kubrick film?
Yeah.
So I give him massive credit for working as well as it does, but I hate all the cosplay nostalgia shit at the end. That should all have been just scrubbed. Just get the fuck rid of it.
Also, it's like Rose the Hat is supposed to be this bad bitch, and in both the movie and the book, she keeps getting her ass whooped by this little twat. And I'm like, I know Abra's supposed to be a Mary Sue, but oh Lord, at least I kind of prefer Abra in the movie more than the book. She seems like just it's even worse in the book. Like she's way too overpowered. And it's like, okay, so it's one of these things where the shitting is basically something like it runs. I guess the father is the carrier, kind of like with Carrie and Ralph White. Yeah, speak of the devil. But it's just, I don't know.
It's a flawed film, but I gotta say there's certain sequences in it, like the sequence where Rose the Hat astral projects across the country.
That was amazing.
Phenomenal filmmaking.
Yeah.
But there's stuff in it that it follows up that just annoys the shit out of me. Like they have this idea that we're gonna trap the cult and we're gonna ambush them by leading them in the wrong place. But they can't. But they're not smart enough to leave their own fucking house. The reason, I mean, of course you're going to get ambushed as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so the characters are like smart dumb, right? But again, it's in the source material. You can't blame the film if it wanted to be a good a straight adaptation of the material, which of course is why The Shining works so well, the original, because it doesn't. It has no desire to just be the novel. So
I will say, like, if anybody wants to give Doctor Sleep another try, I'd recommend the director's cut. That was how I saw it originally, and I'm like, I'm never going back to. I will not go to a theatrical cut because I think you need the full amount of time. But props to Flanagan. He does a really good job, especially again with the astral projection. And I love that part where Abra's going through, where Abra and Rose the Hat are kind of in that weird little memory space. And I think Rose the Hat, she's looking through Abra's memory files. That was neat. A little dreamcatchery, but it was, I mean, the idea of it is very much dreamcatcher, but I really liked how it was filmed.
I mean, they killed a kid on screen. I don't think you'd ever see that in this day and age.
Clown has it. Clown has quite a few, has several child deaths, which I really was surprised about.
Hot tension.
Shout out to Big Crack Rock. Smoke it up, homie.
And not wanting to spoil anything, but one of Dan's recent suggestions has a baby that doesn't fare well.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that out there because I want everyone to discover it on their own, in their own time, if they will. And that's fucking on screen. So
yeah, that's happened a few times in a few recent movies, actually.
Yeah.
More baby death. There you go. There's a hot take.
Fuck yeah.
I guess my last hot take, I don't need a hot take. It's just personal preference for me, but Halloween 4 is way better than the original.
No. Somebody was gonna say it. Nah, can't do it.
You could
I have
argue
a
it.
fucking aneurysm over here. Jesus.
No. I can't say it myself, but I think have more fun with 4 than I do 1 anymore. Or ever. But I respect the first one.
Is there a specific reason why?
I just think for me, it's probably more nostalgia than anything, but I just think it's got way more Halloween atmosphere. Just in the opening credits alone. I love Jamie as a character compared to Laurie and all of them, the characters in the original. And I don't know, Halloween, it just doesn't feel like Halloween to me. I don't know if it's because I know it was filmed in the middle of summer in California.
Oh, wow.
And, Halloween 4, it's in Salt Lake City, but it feels like middle America compared to the other.
I think the ending to Halloween 4 is better than the ending to the original. I prefer that.
Heresy.
That is, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Jake, are you Mormon?
No.
Well,
I don't live in that part of the U.S. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I've always felt like the original Halloween felt like Halloween, but maybe it's because it was always on Halloween night, and that's when I watched it the most. But
Yeah, I can never say that it doesn't feel like Halloween, the original. I agree, Kory.
It just doesn't for me. I don't know.
I will say, in defense of the concept, is I don't think any of the films succeed in making it feel like Halloween season the way it should, like Trick or Treat or Hellfest feel like the holiday for real. None of the Halloween films get anywhere near that. Any of them, even the original. But listen, the original is it kind of substitutes just, hey, scary film, so that makes it a Halloween film. And it works for that movie. But yeah, I mean, if you take Halloween and set it any other time of the year, nothing needs to change in that movie.
Dan's dog's got some hot takes tonight.
I guess that's it for me.
It's a hot
For the
take.
hot takes. I
Um,
guess.
If we're letting Lauren go last, I've got one more.
Yeah, you better throw it out because we're gonna open the box up, and that could be the end of the world here.
We go fighting here.
The Nightmare on Elm Street remake is as good as at least half of the original sequels.
I'm fucking out.
Nope.
of
And
there.
better,
Hot
No.
take.
Sorry,
No.
Lauren. I'll watch it.
better than
When I can
Freddy's Dead.
Oh no!
No.
I'd give you that.
No.
I'd give you that.
No, you don't give him that.
No.
He's
Yep.
fired. He is no longer the VP.
The
at
question
the
is
channel.
are we looking for competence in filmmaking, or are we looking for some? I don't know.
Who was looking?
I don't know. I only like one film in that series, so it's probably not for me to say. But the remake is bad. It's really bad.
Yes.
But I will say that most of the series I feel the same way about. So it's
No.
hard. There's certain incompetencies in the remake that piss me off. But whatever.
There's problems in every movie, though. I mean, and people point to like the makeup in the remake as an issue, or
No
the
shout
fact
out,
that
Sean. No
they
shout
try
out.
and shoot things, shot for shot with the original, and it doesn't turn out the same or whatever. And I'll grant that, but I still think it's as good as at least half the sequels, and it's better than Freddy's Dead.
No.
No.
How
I mean,
dare you?
No.
How
I love Freddy's
dare
Dead.
you?
Corey, I'm so close to agreeing with you, but my problem is there is things about it that I like least, but I'm almost with you, man. Sell it a little bit harder.
The thing
Well,
I don't
maybe
think it
you and
would've
Corey
been-
should get a room.
Who says we haven't?
I don't think.
We're off because he's actually silently crying.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, man. Cry on camera.
The Nightmare remake, had they done a couple things differently, I think it would have been fine. I think they should have focused on what's her name? The friend that dies. What's her name? I can't think of her name.
I can't believe
Chris?
we're talking.
Well, Chris
Maybe.
technically is the name in the remake.
Yeah, what's her
Right.
name? Kate Bishop? No, that's not it. I can't remember the actress's name. But I think she should have been the focus, and then they should have pulled the Freddy was really innocent and he didn't do that to the kids.
It's the best idea in the movie.
Yeah,
And they abandon it.
I
after,
do agree with
one
that.
scene.
I do agree.
and that would have made the either focus on her or the guy. I can't. Quinn, I think was his name in the movie.
It would have made it more interesting, at least, but that's about it.
Nancy was awful. The
Sucks.
girl who played her. I
Yeah.
don't think she wanted to be there anyway.
She never wants to be in anything she's in. Jesus Christ, Rooney Mara. Get a fucking emotion.
All right.
I mean, let's let Lauren.
Should we? Let's open
All
the
right,
box.
it's going to get really violent in here.
Wait, work.
Are you
Mark?
asking for a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
talk
what's
or
up?
more?
Can I get a real talk?
Real talk.
The slasher film is the worst thing that's ever happened to the horror genre.
Oh no!
If you look at the genre from its inception till the mid to late 1970s, you see a genre that's willing to explore all facets of life and to tweak out all those moments of anxiety that affect us all. All of that is undone when Michael Myers picks up a knife and we get stories about people getting stabbed. There's nothing that's going to justify to most of the audience who loves slasher films what I just said. But think about it for a second. I love certain slasher films quite a lot, but there's a lot of bullshit in the subgenre. And if we're being honest, you remove nostalgia from the equation, there's very few even good slasher films. Probably less than on two hands. But yet, it has derailed the genre entirely for the last 40 years. To the point whereas we get shit like The Conjuring that's popular simply because people get so tired of slasher remakes that they go running to absolute crap ghost films. The 1970s, before the slasher explosion, was exploring all these interesting concepts about with the anxieties of gas shortages and the collapse of the American family. We were looking at the psychological problems of an entire generation or generations. We were looking at kind of the counterculture revolutions and what the inevitable fallout would be from it. We're looking at political corruption in the horror genre. All the wonderful like subtextual coding that was going into films just got blown up when Halloween and Friday the 13th came out and set up this formula for, hey, let's introduce 7 to 10 really dumb kids, put them in an isolated setting, and have them get stabbed in the chest. I love the original Friday the 13th. Earlier you saw my list of my favorite 25 films. Go back and watch it closely. You'll see the original Friday the 13th is on my list of my favorite 25 films. Understand, I'm not attacking any particular film, and there's quite a few that have a really, really solid place, center right vertical in my heart. But the effect of the slasher subgenre has been so destructive and so frankly demeaning to the genre. It was 7 steps backwards in that game of Mother May I that we shouldn't be playing. When you look at things like the original Cat People, if you look at I Walked with a Zombie, if you look at Night of the Living Dead, these are films that had something to say and were really forceful in pushing our anxieties front and center onto a big movie screen. And that big movie screen was just a big mirror. We were looking at it, and it was looking at us, and we were starting to get a grasp on what we really needed to do as a society. We like to think of the horror genre as just some simple thing that's cast away, and we just have fun, and I just like to see Jason stab people, and hey, Chucky said something funny. There's that, and it's fine. And I'm not saying that shouldn't exist, but there should be a whole lot more. Why are people so excited by A24? Those, unlike Kory, who are? Well, it's because, frankly, it's so refreshing to just see someone take the genre seriously. And it not be, hey, Agatha Christie, that's a good enough formula. Let's add some gore scenes. So here's the deal. I love a good slasher film. There's very few of them. And I'm really, really fucking tired of some obscurity from the 80s getting dragged out onto Blu-ray, everyone getting excited, talking about it. Oh, I love this movie. It's a masterpiece that hasn't been recognized. When in reality, Jesus Christ, people. Enjoy trash for what it is, but enjoy the good stuff at some point. And please turn your attention back to the good stuff. You have Shudder. Look at Shudder. There's some great stuff on it. Stop renting the shit you've already seen a million times and you have on your shelf. You're just too lazy to pick the disc up. End of rant.
Well, to pivot off of that, because I still like slashers, but I understand exactly what you're saying, and some of our bigger franchises that we've had sequels, remakes, requels, whatever you want to call them. Look at, look at the Chucky TV series. Look at Halloween 2018 and Kills and soon to be Ends. I mean, you've got slasher movies, but now we're actually trying to take the slasher movie, which is pretty much diluted. The franchises themselves are extremely diluted. And now we're going to try to use them to convey some sort of social commentary, some sort of message that we want to impart. It's like building a house on sand. Why? There's no substance there. And I think that just really gets compounded for me. It's just like,
I agree with you for the most part, Sam. I still feel like Lauren just came and fucked me in the ass, basically. With that last.
No, asking for that.
Hey, no, he gave him lube. He warned everybody.
He did. It was more like
it may not have been enough.
Is that where the blood came from in the
Not enough
background?
time to lubricate.
I mean, it's hard to argue with you. I mean, you make great points. I want to, but yeah, it's
Well, just so let me ask a serious question. Like, the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the Kaufman film, right? What in the slasher genre, subgenre, is anywhere near as ambitious as that movie?
I think some of the originals maybe in their own way, like
Okay,
the first Halloweens, even Texas Chainsaw.
I would say Chainsaw is a Southern Gothic. I wouldn't call it a slasher film.
Okay, good point.
Hmm.
We're clever in a lot of ways and ambitious. I mean, I think they got your point is made more as they made more of those movies or those type of movies. But I think there's something said in some of the original slashers.
And you're not wrong. It's just the problem is that the slashers took all the air out of the room.
Hmm.
Like
And
I
so-
said, you make really good points. I
So
want
some-
to argue with you, but it is hard to.
Everyone who has their shot glasses, get ready. Empty Man, ambitious, broad, takes its time, develops real characters, has something to say, insanely inventive for a commercial horror film, and gets released by fucking Disney. No one gave a crap. I was the only person in the theater. I think I was the only one in the theater nationwide, by the way. But I mean, it's grown a cult following since. But a film like that should not have a cult following. It should be as big as The Shining or Jaws or Rosemary's Baby. I mean, it should be a cornerstone of the genre for a new generation. But it won't be because there isn't the room because we're excited about Halloween Ends. And oh my God, at a convention, they showed the 5 clips of the film or whatever the fuck they did this last weekend.
Is it
How
this
was it?
generation even enjoying Halloween Ends though?
I don't know.
I
But
feel like this generation. I don't know if they even
how
do they
many
like the horror genre if it's not paranormal activity type stuff, or are we even past that? The Conjuring.
how many Halloween Ends videos showed up on YouTube today?
I don't type it in, so I don't really.
There are a lot.
Unfortunately, I subscribe to enough channels that I saw a ton, and it's just again, I don't mind that slashers exist. I am a fan of slasher films. That should be pretty obvious, right?
Mm.
But I don't like the effect they've had.
Not to stop you, Lauren, but a good point just in what you just said. There's a podcast not connected to this community or anything, but he had, I believe, and I'm not kidding, like an 8th impression viewing of Halloween Kills, as in he watched it 8 times, did 8 videos with new. What the fuck did you need 8 times to? I mean, even if you liked Halloween Kills, what did you need 8 times to discover in Halloween Kills? I got it all with just one viewing. So, I don't know
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't get that.
Ask the people that are watching Scream 5 for the 5th or 6th time because it's on DVD now, and they saw it 3 times in the theater.
Yeah, and I didn't hate that.
Even if I like
Kills,
something, maybe twice in the theater, but that's a rare thing because I don't want to spoil it either if I like it.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things that it used to not be like this. The internet has really solidified the horror genre around 40-year-old slasher franchises. It's really crazy. I mean, when I was growing up as a horror fan and you discover horror fans to talk to, it wasn't like this. Yeah, eventually you would talk about a few slasher films, but you would talk about monster movies. You would talk about, I remember The Changeling getting discussed more than Halloween in 1981 and 82, right? When Ghost Story came out, it was like, hey, can you believe the Fred Astaire ghost movie's coming out based on a Straub novel? Can you imagine? People used to have those conversations, and now it's like, oh, what's your favorite mask of the franchise? And it's like, really? That's where we're at.
I agree with you there. I watched a movie from the 80s the other night, and obviously gets buried by all those slasher movies, but that movie Lady in White,
Awesome film.
Paper House, Lady in White. Yeah, there's not a lot of people talk about those, and it's sad.
Well, so the whole thing with kind of like, especially, looking at horror Twitter, and it's always talking about these same movies and I feel like that, of course, that can also extend to, I have to do a slight rant about this, but if you are a horror thought, you don't have to look like Eddie Page, a Suicide Girl, Darcy, or Elvira. You can just show your tits and like horror movies. You can just not do the thing that everybody else is doing. Just be yourself. If you want to show your tits, that's fine. But just stop. Ladies, I'm asking you to stop. Like, I can't anymore. I don't know. Am I the only one that would like just a little bit of different, like, horror thoughts out there?
Well, I mean, they're doing that because people are watching it. So, I mean, if people didn't watch it.
Yeah. I know I'm not the target audience.
Right.
Well, Sam, literally, when I was trying to find a co-host, the fact that you provided a viewpoint, and sometimes I disagreed with the viewpoint, but you provided a viewpoint that was strong and authentic is the reason why I said, I gotta talk to her.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah, I'm fully in agreement that the window dressing is never going to sell the show.
Yeah, and I mean, window dressing's fine. I just do something. Just do something different. That's all. I don't know. Like, you don't need to have your hair like 5 different colors. You don't have to look like fucking King Diamond or whatever. Just do something yourself. Do something original.
To be fair, I'd like to have hair that's one color.
We could just paint a stripe down your head like a racing stripe.
I'll just grow a single devil lock. I'll be the bald member of the Misfits.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna Jack Murphy my beard. That's what's gonna happen next.
Wow, that's a deep cut. I know Chris is sitting downstairs going, Jesus.
Not the other
to
stuff.
call you a fuck.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not making any videos though, but I'll do the beard gag.
Excellent.
Nothing's going in my ass, but I will do the beard gag just to get a laugh out of you guys.
Oh shit.
Well, I want the show with you and Lauren and his one locket of hair just twirling down.
I just want it to get progressively longer and longer and longer, but he never moves it. It just this is how you tell the passage of time now.
Well, the scary thing is I'd have to start growing it back here and flop it over because it's not going to happen here.
I feel that.
It's the saddest little rat tail ever.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't think it's even a rat tail. It's just a mouse tail then.
But it's on the front of the head.
I'll tell you what, Lauren, if we ever meet up sometime, we'll take a picture of you standing next to me and I'll just have my hair on top of your head.
That sounds kind of disturbing.
I'm ready to book my ticket for a community meetup. Just saying. That goes to the chat too.
You just need to settle on a place and a time, and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Texas is having we're doing San Japan this year, and it's usually it's just an anime convention, but it's horror themed this year, so we're getting a lot of cool Asian horror cinema available to us. So, but that's not till September.
Well, this will only appeal to some of the people, but Becky Lynch lives like 45 minutes from me and Jess. So
I'm jealous.
You could take Seth Rollins together, I think.
Am I having a stroke or should I be understanding some of this?
I don't. You're not alone.
Because words are happening. But
I feel like if you showed Lauren pictures of Becky Lynch, maybe like I just want Lauren to give opinions on like different wrestlers, just like Rorschach test.
I want to get Ozzy from Flesh Wound Farce to call a wrestling match with Lauren. Just not what, just authentic reaction to a wrestling match.
I want Lauren on the next S'mores Indoors show.
I think he'd like to publish some more books, Kory. So I don't know. He's welcome, but
I'm just hoping he comes back on our next season after this show.
You let me piss people off, so that's okay.
All right, cool. That's what this show's all about.
Oh, wait. Big Crack Rock in the south of Sudan. Why don't we just do it in Miramar? That seems safe.
Any of these places are possible. I think it's just got to be a good central hub, probably with cheaper
How
flights.
expensive airfare is right now.
I did look it up. Some of it's not too terrible yet.
I know Memphis has come up. I know there's that drive-in thing coming in July, I think. Nashville's come up.
Yeah, I think you do one of those main hubs like Nashville, Memphis, Orlando, Vegas, something like that. The tickets are probably cheaper than most other places, at least. Not cheap, but
better to go now than later in the year. I think that's my attitude. I was like something summer-ish.
Baltimore is nice, Billy. How would this Baltimore?
The community cruise, we need it.
Seeing a lot of Vegas in the chat.
That cruises actually are not that expensive, but watch there be like some new outbreak and the toilets don't work. Everybody wants to kill each other. It'll turn into like a real horror cruise.
Well, either way, wherever we will have to, I'm sure there'll be plenty of time where we'll just be wanting to hang out, but we will have to broadcast some sort of special show from there.
What if we did Philadelphia? No, that's a bad idea.
God.
I don't feel like getting shot. Thanks.
We can see the Liberty Bell.
No, I don't know.
Specific street or anything you want to do that on?
No, Sam, that's Chicago or Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, also if you go to the west side of San Antonio, so stay away from Marbach.
It's Baltimore too. Last time I was in Baltimore, I like
in America.
Baltimore. Yeah, but this was like 6 years ago. Baltimore. I went to a comic shop that John Waters had talked about, and I legit thought we were gonna die. So Baltimore can be a little rough, but I do
live from Baltimore, guys.
But if Vegas, exciting. There's a there. I mean, on Fremont Street's not too bad. Plus, there's a hotel called the D, and look, we all have a 12-year-old sense of humor. We all think it's funny that there's a hotel just called the D.
The D, live from the D. Yeah. I don't think the Strip is that expensive either. I mean, they make it reasonable, so you come there to spend your money.
Vegas is funny as fuck because you have the main strip, the newer strip, the one that everyone knows about, and then if you go right behind like the MGM Grand, it's a complete ghetto, and it's pretty funny.
I mean, it gets kind of rough. I don't know if I've been behind the MGM Grand. I've been by it though.
Well, if you guys want to come up near me, we can meet in Irvington, and we all will die, but.
Sounds
you gotta
fun.
have steak with us and we'll be good.
Yeah, that's true.
We need some muscle there.
Well, stay tuned, folks, if you're watching for the live community horror convention.
Shit, we should just start a convention.
I know there's enough of us.
All we have to do is pay Kate Hodder $7 to show up, and we're good.
That's it. And then us.
No,
that's what you get.
You get Piz. Piz would draw. I think it could happen.
Does Piz want to be seen in public with us?
Maybe not after tomorrow's show, but if we get him to agree to it tonight, maybe.
And if they buy advance tickets, they get the Orc concert for free.
Oh, that's what's going to really sell it.
You know it.
They're
You're
paying
gonna
for
get
the
you're
Orc
gonna get
concert.
Christian's band to open for Orc.
You're right, and then Orc can DJ, can have like a rave night.
Yep. Fucking dope. Eat your heart out, Skrillex.
Lauren can, show off his new single. No?
No.
His new single lock of hair. By then,
Dun-dun-dun.
oh, if we do Vegas, me and Chris can renew our vows.
Oh,
I could still fit in my wedding dress.
that would be cool.
So could Dan.
Dan, you can fit in your wedding dress?
I just got
Absolutely.
a mental picture.
No, it'll house show
Vegas
up.
it is.
I'm just like, man, I feel bad for Dan if he's trying to fit in my wedding dress. That's got like a corset up, like lace up corset. It's like,
Oh my.
My brother
Yeah.
and his wife got married in Vegas. They did the Elvis thing and everything. So
oh.
I have been to a Vegas wedding. I really don't like her, but no, it was nice.
And now that's out in the world.
Hot take.
I've said it before. She's horrible. There's a hot take. Yeah, she's trash. But anyways. There you go, Ghost.
She's the quiet place of sister-in-laws.
She's the rusty nail hanging out of a rug on a staircase. Because that happens.
Oh.
Ooh, a month, huh, Ghost? A month is about too long in my. I've been there 3 times, and after a couple days, you're usually
Yeah.
good.
You're done.
Yeah. I went to World Tour in Vegas, and like that was 3 days, and by the 3rd day I was like itching to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I would say I was the same way. I've been a few times.
Trying to think other.
Oh, we can have a wedding in Vegas. Big Crack Rock's gonna get hitched.
Exclusively here on Cable Channel 11.
The bride's the one that stabs us. So there you go.
Just turns into a sequel to Ready or Not.
I wonder if they still hand out those cards for the prostitutes. That was my favorite part. Being like
Oh, yeah.
14. I was like,
Just like also it's just like the flyers with the prostitutes on them as well too. It's sort of like I imagine if I was like a kid and I had picked one of those up. That's like early Spank Bank material.
good times.
Used what you had.
Yeah, there are other things. I mean, a casino's a casino about anywhere you go. It's kind of the atmosphere too, and there are some kick-ass shows. I unfortunately haven't really seen one there, but
There is some pretty badass stuff. Like the Palms has a zoo that's inside. Mandalay Bay has an inside aquarium. Pretty dope.
well, and MGM had the lions in there. I mean, there's
Yeah.
all sorts of just cool shit to
Oh yeah, you don't have
walk
to
around and
gamble.
see.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
I want to hear Ghost
You're
Vegas
saying if
stories.
people get bored with us, there's other things they can do.
Also, the
I do like to
Stratosphere-
spend some money though.
Yeah, you can jump off, like you can go bungee jumping off the Stratosphere Hotel. One of my old bosses did that like ages ago, but she has balls and I do not.
Mandalay
Beat me
Bay,
to
I
it,
think
Jess.
they used to have an
we
indoor
should hang out,
shooter
Jay.
too, but took him out.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I thought that was
It
hilarious.
took me a second, but I got it. Nice meme. Nice. He did the world a good service that day. Got rid of country music fans.
He only hit Toby Keith.
Ow.
Wow,
Too
this
soon?
this could be the most
He's a big
controversial
target, too.
episode
What
of
the hell?
Horror Rumble, and not really any of our main topics are the problem.
Wait till you see tomorrow, Jess.
I'm so
Okay,
glad
thank
they-
goodness. Take some of the heat off this channel. Everybody, make sure you check those out. We'll promote those heavy before we go.
So glad they figured out the motivations of the shooter.
Hey, Kory, do you want, before we leave, do you want to, disrupt any election results or talk about the origins of any pandemics or anything? Just to finish your thoughts.
Which Kory? There's two of us.
Doesn't matter at this point.
I got to save some content for tomorrow night, so I'll let Kory, the other Kory, tackle that.
Oh, I don't know. Let's
on,
see here.
China.
Something that we can end the show on that'll be really.
Can we top what we've done what people have said here so far tonight?
The Antichrist will be Muslim.
You've said this to me
Wow.
before. It's not the first time you've said this.
I know I'm having flashbacks to a previous horror rumble for some
Yeah,
reason.
I was gonna say a story pitch. I remember that.
Yeah.
You guys actually pay attention to the show?
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Wait, what? Should we? I got nothing else. We got to do, like I said, a giveaway soon. Check out, if you haven't, you people who watch the Horror Rumble, check out Jess Graham Live.
What's that supposed to mean, Jess?
What do you mean? What?
You people?
I mean, everybody, the people of the world. Wait, hold on, I gotta.
All you dang old horror fans.
Favorite.
He
movie?
did print it
Thank
off.
you. Right? Ooh.
think-
Wait,
Remember-
start over.
Yeah, start
Here
over.
we go. Thank you.
Ma'am, Lauren, I'm really surprised to see you showing love for Bride of Frankenstein the other day. Heathers, wow, I wasn't expecting it to be that
Natural Born
high.
Killers that high?
Ringu all day, son.
Oh, Jason X is 17. Holy shit. Wow, Jason X is beating Texas Chainsaw Massacre? That's a hot take.
That for a lot of people is. It's not.
So this is not a list of the best films ever made. This is a list of my favorite films.
Mm-hmm.
So there's if enjoyments can be different for everyone, but
I think only one I'm not a fan of the Paradise Guy.
you have no soul.
I'm due a rewatch on that too.
It's definitely my favorite De Palma film. I mean, Jarrett Graham as Beef is one of the best characters ever.
Oh, I'm a big. He might even be visible on the wall somewhere there, but yeah.
Tell me
My
all your thoughts.
on God.
He's not here to. So, I don't remember how that song goes.
Tell me all your.
Thoughts on God.
That was an orc moment, by the way. Come on.
Was that Deep Blue something? Who did that song?
I honestly don't remember who did that song.
Dishwalla. It's one of those bands.
Dishwalla, I think.
I couldn't tell you. I blanked out on music at that point. So
Orc's gonna do a cover on his channel. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
I was going to do a cover of Joan Osborne's What If God Was One of
What
Them.
if God was?
What if God was one of us?
A stranger on
Just
your
a beggar
Yeah,
like one of us.
Where's Peter Dinklage playing the piano while you're doing it? Come on.
That's a hot name, though. Okay.
All right, stay tuned for that.
oh,
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
Actually,
Wait,
I'm just
our show. We're supposed
staring
kill that.
longingly into Jess's eyes here.
You can see my eyes.
No, not really. I'm just
So I was just thinking about your hair, Jess, because as a dude, you've got like a Caesar haircut, right? Because it's like kind of like little spiky bangs, like. But if you were a
No,
chick,
that's just how it laid. I didn't do much with it before the show.
because it's like you're this close to Gail Weathers bangs, like this close.
Good lord.
I know.
Well, I guess that probably is better than Lloyd Christmas. So.
Oh my god. Actually, I had a friend who did. Dude, I had a friend who went as Lloyd for Halloween once, and he did the tooth black. He looked dead on. It was.
So
It
that's
was
a
the
pumpkin
funniest
pie
thing.
haircut? Is that what you're saying?
No, it just kind of looks like it to me at the moment.
We
It can be. Depends on. I don't do much with it.
We have to have a community show where everybody dresses up for Halloween. That has
Right.
not happened yet.
No.
That has not happened.
Pirate Lauren, I demand it.
I knew that was going to start. Thank you so much, Dan. I really fucking appreciate it.
All right, I'm excited for that.
It's not happening.
Thundering for some booty.
Okay, Ben. That's a Dan one.
I still like that idea
Or
where
can Dan or
everybody was going
slacking?
to dress as somebody else.
Andy Dick is now live streaming. He does IRL.
Oh, goodness.
He's at that Stagecoach fucking festival in California right now.
Oh,
More shitty country music.
I thought you were gonna say he was at that stage
Bring
right
your
before
guns.
death or something. 'cause I saw a clip of him, and yeah, it's not gonna be long. Sorry, Jess.
Well, there's a lot of cocaine involved, and then they have to delete the YouTube streams. It's pretty funny.
You're saying he's pushing his way to the front row at that Great White Show?
Pretty much, yeah.
Needs to clean up, and we can get in the army too. It can happen. Lori's
I'd watch
not
that.
busy. If Lori Petty's in it, I'll watch it too.
That's wow. It's like every time we're on the air, we mention Tank Girl.
Yeah. Tank Girl's. I have a Tank Girl poster signed by her and Malcolm McDowell in the back room. I love Tank Girl.
Very fun movie.
It is, and I'm kind of that seems like something they would have rebooted by now. I know it wasn't a hit, but I don't know.
No,
was
it would be so bad if they tried to reboot it.
It'll be like Lady Gaga or something. I don't know. I don't know who they'd cast in the Tank Girl role now. Can't think of anybody off the top of my head that could beat Lori Petty.
I figured you'd go with Sasha Grey, but
Not the right kind of charisma. She's actually not a bad actress, but she doesn't have that kind of charisma. I don't know who I would.
Shotzi, she's already got the tank.
And she's probably going to get released. So
Oh,
yeah,
we know this. We know. Everybody's like, Shotzi, turn off your phone, girl. You in danger.
I love her, but she's going to get released because
Yeah.
they don't see it.
I think he was talking about Andy Dick there.
Shotzi, the original Amber Heard, by the way, because
What
there is a picture. I'll just, yeah.
the fuck are you?
Shots. There's
You're
a
breaking my
shot.
heart, man.
There's
What-
a Shotzi poo pic out there.
Dan took a dump in Sasha's bed. What?
How do you find these things?
She
Why
was,
do you find these things?
she was selling
That's
Polaroids
a good
to
question.
fans pre WWE. That
Has
is a
somebody
thing.
bought a Polaroid of her shit of her Shatsy?
Of her Shotzi. Yes, that is a thing.
Ah,
I mean, Tessa Blanchard did that too. So
well, I mean, how many women that are on the big shows didn't do apartment wrestling?
that is very true. A lot. Orc, you need to enter that. Get in on that apartment wrestling.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Dominate.
You get body slammed and I'll fall through the floor. I weigh 360 pounds. Fat as fuck right now.
You could hit a sick German on most of those girls, though, Orc. It'd be a thing of beauty.
Fuck yeah, I could. Yeah.
So,
18
who else
German
is?
suplexes.
Who else has sold pictures of their shit? I don't know. I'm running out of topics.
I did. Oh, well, let's wrap this up, Kory. Or I mean, we'll just go around the clock, I guess. Sam, do you got anything coming up on Sheebie-Jeebies or?
Shiba Jeebies.
No, I'm just gonna pass this to Lauren because Sheebie-Jeebies is pretty much defunct for now. So
Copy that.
What? Pass it to me now?
Okay, well, we'll still just go around the clock then, I guess.
We're pimping.
Kory at S'mores Indoors, I know you got some stuff coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow night, another back-to-back show night. 8 p.m. Central. We'll start with the selection show for the greatest horror sequel of all time. And we'll follow that up at 10:30 with the Volume 2 selection show for the greatest adult star of all time. So since so many people were butthurt on people who got left out. So.
There was fighting over that too. That's hilarious.
I can't wait.
May
I'm
have
gonna
been
go
one of
back and watch those.
That tournament may have been one of the greatest shows on that channel.
I'm
though.
just curious how it is that Autumn Moon made it in, but Jenna Jameson didn't.
She did. She just got kicked out. Autumn Moon was an anonymous submission, and I'm not gonna rat the person out, but that was a decision. It was a decision.
Sometimes the great ones just don't make it past the first round.
There you go. But Jake will probably die when he sees what I have up my sleeve on this show tomorrow. So I have been to the bowels of the internet, and I'll put it this way: I actually made myself nauseous last night.
Oh God!
That means Jake make a run to the liquor store sometime tomorrow afternoon.
I'll be good and drunk tomorrow for this.
Nobody's gonna want to have sex for at least 6 months after tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay.
Shockingly, surprisingly, you said that Mary Todd Lincoln in the tournament this time.
First ladies. There you go.
Yeah. Well,
Ranking
that might be a future show. I don't know.
I feel like I legit just booked one.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know. It's like saying that you won't want to have sex for 6 months after watching it. I don't think that's bringing in that many viewers.
Oh, they can't look away.
Like a Rick. You know.
I think I'm gonna save Lauren for going last. I don't know if he wants to follow that up quite yet. Jake, we'll just go around in the little
From State Farm.
Oh, let's see. May the 15th at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We're going to do the horrors of the 2000s. And
got my list already.
Yeah. So if you ain't got your list, get them. And then on the 29th of May, 8 Eastern, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Backlash 2002 watch along. And that's it. Until you give me a date you want to finish these nightmares, Jess.
All right. Well, hopefully we can slip at least one of those in the next month.
Jess is going to try and hold that off so he doesn't have to do the remake.
Oh, we're not going to do that.
Oh, we're doing the remake.
We've still got other good nightmare movies to do yet. Mr. Ork, 145-626. You've been doing some news broadcasts and
news updates, food reviews, song covers. I do everything. Multi-talented artist.
You're a Swiss Army knife of YouTube.
Fucking damn straight I am. God-given talents. That's right. Probably gonna buy something cool, like maybe MySpace. We'll see. Yeah. I don't need to advertise. People know who I am.
I think we could all pull and buy MySpace. I don't think that's going to run you 44.
We should all pull together and buy Tout from WWE.
Oh, jeez.
That's $10.
Tried logging into MySpace not that long ago, and there's still some stuff there, but like half of the pictures have disappeared. Posts and things are all gone.
It's like going to an abandoned mall.
Yeah.
Tom was the biggest winner that day. He sold that shit for $1 million and he got out. And Fox was like, shit, what do we do now?
I think Zuckerberg ate Tom. That was like a sacrifice.
Tom got on the plane and he went to Hawaii, and then Zuckerberg met him there.
Thank you,
Dragged
Jess.
him into the sea.
That.
Am I up next?
Daniel Shine.
Flesh Wound features on YouTube. We got a lot of videos, and hang out with us tomorrow though on S'mores Indoors for that adult tournament. I think we offend everybody on that, every group. So Yeah.
Well, if you like this show, you might like that one.
It's gonna be bad when you see what I've got. So, like, really bad.
Dan, are you trying to get me to not like you? I mean, it started with this John Cena thing, okay? And we've just been going downhill since. I don't know.
Cesaro should have won that tournament.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Oh.
All right. Mr. Lauren Dixon.
Lauren is a real American. Fight for the rights of America.
Thank you for that. I don't want to announce something specific, but we do have a very, very, very exciting show coming up next week on Visited by Voices. It will have to be pre-recorded because of a time zone issue, but really very exciting, very topical to what's been going on the channel recently. And I don't get excited for a lot we do. It's not my personality to be kind of gleeful about much, but this is something I'm really, really excited for. This is like a very, very cool thing with a very, very cool guest. And that video will be pre-recorded. It'll be up by probably midweek. And super excited about that.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And you'll be able to find those links in the description below if you want to go straight to their channels. They'll all be there.
Well, in which case you're screwed.
Or maybe not. You want to finish everybody off, Kory? I mean, the show off?
Yeah, finish me off.
Wow.
It's only got two hands. Come on.
He's going to do it with his voice alone. Silky, I tell you, silky.
Well, wanted to thank everybody for being on tonight. I don't know what is going on with our friend Steak, but I want my OTG, bud.
Preach.
And as far as everything else goes, thank you
happy
guys.
birthday, Andrew.
Yes.
From
Yes.
Hey, isn't that Devon Graham, aka now
Happy birthday. His channel is back, too. So,
Happy belated birthday to Dan Shine, whom I hate.
yeah.
I celebrated it by watching all of Claudio Castagnoli's 5-star classics.
Dang.
I don't know who that is, but I'm sure I'll find out tomorrow.
OTG, happy endings, boy. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching in the chat and joining us. This has been an interesting Horror Rumble. And yeah, so good night, everyone.